Hey there. There are some commonly held viewpoints that I kind of have not quite antithetical, but just a different take on it. Like, we just want to be numb is one of those common trendy things people say. And I don't think, like, not we as in general, like, I don't want to be reductionist, but I don't think people are necessarily because we can't escape. We can't escape a lot of the bad things. We just move on and create new memories. Um, and so there isn't really any reason to escape. We just try to move on and work past it. And at least that's the way I see it. And I don't think we want to be numb either. We just want to feel good. And one of the other, yeah, I think we're just kind of in denial of that. Um, it's not that we're trying to just erase those memories, because that's something that happened to us. And at least for me, I feel like I want to remember that, even though part of me doesn't want to remember it because I feel like I lost my innocence or something like that. But so, yeah, I'm conflicted about that. There being new memories and healing experiences is what I think we really want. Like, no one wants to feel bad and depressed. Like, that's another toxic thing that goes around. Like, people are like, well, I guess, they just want that and they go against what they really want, which is for me an infuriating thing to think. And yeah, maybe there's some of that, but I think we're really just all in denial about the fact that we are victims to naivety. Like, it's not tasteful or very cool to like believe you're a victim. But if you do it in the right way with honest, like just objective viewpoints, as far as like, yeah, we are naive. We would choose differently if we knew more of how that outcome would be. Like, if we knew if we were to drink tonight, that something horrible would happen, we probably wouldn't do that, you know? So it's the fact that, and it's not just, that's more of an obvious one, but if we were going to go on a vacation and a horrible car accident were to happen, like, we wouldn't do that, you know? I mean, that's an extreme example because that's like knowing the future. But as far as naivety, as far as like relationships or things like that, like, we want certain challenges, but we want to have our heart in it. And I've talked about that in other videos. I do talk about kind of heavy existential stuff, even though I am a bright, sparkly person deep down. And that's kind of where this comes out of, is I'm like, it's strange to me how not a lot of people talk about this or have a viewpoint like this, where it's like, yeah, we are victims to our own naivety, but that doesn't mean we live as victims. We're just stuck in whether we feel numb or we feel like horrible and we're trying to escape it. I don't think we're trying to escape it. I don't like that verbiage either. I like to say we're trying to feel good. Like, we're not trying to feel numb. Who wants to feel numb? Like, that's like being dead. Like, it's like, yeah, it's nice to have a break from your feelings, but you want to feel good. You want to have those endorphins. You want to, even if you're alone, you don't have to feel lonely, but sometimes we're subjected to that. And that's where we're a victim. That's where, when we are subjected to something that we wouldn't choose, that's when we are a victim, whether we want to admit that or not. Now, I don't live as if I'm a victim, but I am offended by that, existentially offended. And that's okay. Like, I'm being honest, I'm being real, even though I don't live as if I'm offended. I don't treat other people like, people wouldn't guess, especially people off the street, like, they wouldn't guess that I live that way. But I'm just being honest with my true feelings in my encounter and my disposition with this reality. And yeah, no one wants to be miserable. That's such a That's such a toxic belief. Like, I really don't think so. I mean, we're just so deep in the muck of pain, heartbreak, you know, whatever kind of turmoil and struggle we're in. It's not that we don't want a challenge. Like, we do want a challenge, but we want our heart in it. It's like if you're playing a game with your friends, you want to be really into the game. If you're like, oh, this game is dumb, it's because you're not engaged. Like, it doesn't do anything for you. It just feels not good. And it's okay to sit with those not good feelings. I think there is some value in that. But there comes a point, and that's where people call it escapism, is where we go crazy and, like, you know, drinking, drugs, whatever, is like basically the subsequent uh, thing that happens is after you don't consent to a certain disposition for long enough, you just, it's like you don't know how to get back to your state of ease. Then it transpires into something you wouldn't normally do, but you're like desperate to like not feel that anxiety or that it. And it's not just not feeling that anxiety and being numb. It's feeling like yourself. You want to feel like yourself again, and oftentimes we're robbed of that, which, yeah, that goes into the being a victim. But we're all victims in this reality, even the victors, because they're victims of their own naivety and of the world around them and the suffering around them. Because, of course, some people get a smooth life. They're like, I love my life. And I'm not saying I don't love my life, but it's totally valid to say that you don't consent to the internal dispositions that you feel. It's not that I haven't worked on myself either, or just let myself sit with those feelings. I do that. But there comes a time where it's like, this is dull. Like, I don't want to go through years of feeling this thing. It's like, I want to learn and feel other things. I want to have other experiences. Because experiences is how we learn. It's beyond telepathy or some God voice telling you something. It's a felt presence of being. And it's like, if I could, you know, if we had telepathy and you could speak words into my head and I could speak words into yours, that would be a very non-advanced form of telepathy. An advanced form of telepathy would be like, I'll show you what I mean. You can feel what I mean, which as humans, we do have that in the form of empathy. But you really can't know what someone else's baseline feels like, or just their normal feels like, because there isn't anything to really compare it to, because we're so in the moment, we're so attached to the present moment, which is another trendy thing people say, which I'm like, no, I like to be balanced with glancing in the rear view and being like, oh yeah, this is a pattern that happens, to gauge as you move forward into the future and glance through your windshield to see the future. Because if you're stuck in the moment, that's what I was when I was an alcoholic. I was stuck in the moment because I just wanted to be in that moment. And I forgot who said it, but there's this quote that goes, discipline is deciding between what you want now and what you really want, right? But there's a paradox there, because with our disposition in the world, what you want or what you really want is to feel good in the moment and in the future. So it's the tug between that balance and being able to give yourself a break, have a little fun, and it, instead of like working on yourself so hard that you have to sequester yourself and you're just in pain the whole time. Because I see people that do that. It's like, yeah, from the outside it looks healthy because they're not like doing any substances or anything, but they are miserable, and or at least not inspiring. It's like there's this other thought where it's like, if you're just stuck in those pit stops of life where you just stop to have a good time, that you can get sucked into that and feel and God, I just lost my train of thought. But be stuck in that moment, and uh, not be able to be in your heart the way you want to, even though that's your intent. And I'm inspired by people that feel that joy and feel that pain and the uh, duality that's there, and they're able to express that in song or in a painting. And that's beautiful to me, because they're not projecting that they're a victim, but they're just in this disposition that they wouldn't choose, because there's a whole spectrum of felt experiences out there, and we're so limited by like the same view that we're in all the time. We trick ourselves into being like, well, it'd be just boring if it was all easy. But I'm not saying that. I'm saying you want challenge, but you want your heart to be in it. And a lot of people, their heart is in it. And that's great. And I've had moments where my heart's in it. And where I struggle is I expire. I have such a hard time working any kind of job for more than a year or two. I burn out way faster than the ordinary person does because I'm so addicted to change. I end up feeling like it's like a groundhog day or living the same day over when I go to work, even if there's different tasks every day. It's cyclical. And in our jobs, we encounter the same things in different ways so many different times. So that's just something we find ourselves in, and it's hard for me to come to a closure with these videos. But that's really all I wanted to say in this video is, we want to create the memories and the felt experiences and be able to remember those. Like, that's what I do in some of my most difficult times is I try to remember the felt presence of those good experiences in life. But when I'm in a pit, I'm having a hard time remembering that feeling because I'm in one that I don't want to be feeling. Even if I try to sit with it and accept it, it's like accepting like basically something that you wouldn't choose, which is a very odd disposition to be in. And I really hope this is the only life that I exist in that has that happen, because it's just very counterintuitive to my learning. In all these jobs where I burned out, my intention was to grow into the job or grow into a relationship and evolve into it. But instead, the opposite happens where it expires and then there's something else and there's just the predictable things that don't work out. And after long enough of not having a win, it's just natural for us to feel jaded or kind of victimized by our disposition in life. And so I just want to talk about that because that's my own take on it, and I don't really hear other people talking about it. I hear like, oh, it's a when you're ready. It's like you'll get out of that misery that you're in or your addiction that you're in. But a lot of people, it's like, I don't want to be addicted. I want to have pure consciousness. But pure consciousness here is just a lot of the same kind of feeling for me. And I haven't been able to, it's like celebrities and stuff. They can go to rehab for 2 months because they can afford that. A lot of us, like, that would rack up our insurance, and that's even if you have insurance, to pull off something like that. And if you just bite the bullet and go through it, you're gonna like have a few months or whatever of having to check out, unless you're just one of those really hardcore people like bodybuilders that just power through it. Yeah, not everyone has that gift. I express these things in a lot of my songs in kind of abstract ways, but it is nice to just say it in words, just in a very straightforward way.